DVDs, encyclopedias, graphic novels, CDs, fiction, books on CD, newspapers, cookbooks. So, what do all of these items have in common? They can all be found in a library. Such as this one. Or this one. Or even this one. We even have one in downtown Logan, and this is where I spent my hours of service. Let's take a minute and first talk about the history of the Logan Library to see how far it has come. First, it was established on April 16th, 1916 by Logan City Ordinance. Mrs. Jean Thatcher and Reverend E.T. Lewis were leading figures in starting the library, with their two small library collections which were accepted by the library board. Miss May Hanson was the first full-time librarian at the Logan Library and was hired in the summer of 1917 at the salary of $25 per week. In 1937, after 16 years, the first appropriation for books was made at the library. Before this time, they were donated. In 1985, the Logan Library's card catalog was automated and made available for use in the library. In 1996, the Logan Library's homepage was made available to the public on the internet. In 1998, the Logan Library's homepage on the internet could be searched from home computers, which allowed card holders to renew books, place holds, and check what they had on loan. And the library in Logan celebrated its 90th year in 2006. And so we can see that the library has come a very long way. And I should know, I go every week and am constantly on the electronic catalog getting things on hold and so on. And so what did I do at the library? I shelved books. So, our library is actually within the City Hall building here in Logan. This is a picture of the entrance to the library. I took this picture one morning before I did my service learning hours. You can see that everyone there is waiting to get in. I had been emailing the head of the library, Mr. Ronald Jenkins, about my service learning project, and he said it was a really good idea. It'd be perfectly fine for me to come in, volunteer here at the library. When I came to the library, we both sat down and we talked about the things I could do at the library. And we also talked about a lot of information about just volunteering in general. For example, he told me one person volunteered regularly for over 25 years. It makes my 5 hours seem like nothing, doesn't it? Most importantly, we talked about shelving the books. Mr. Jenkins decided to put me to work in the nonfiction section. And this means the Dewey Decimal System. We went over it briefly, but let me quickly tell you how it works. All nonfiction books are divided into about 10 sections, and each section is given a hundreds number. And these 10 sections are the zeros, computer science, information and general works, the 100s, philosophy and psychology, 200s, religion, 300s, social sciences, 400s, language, 500s, science, 600s, technology, 700s, arts and recreation, 800s, literature, and 900s, history and geography. Now I had to take the books and put them where they belonged. First I had to find where they went in numerical order, and then by author. As I worked there, I seemed to spend most of my time in the 300 section, which was full of stuff ranging from law to education to economics to political science. And the 500 section, because of all the books on animals that I guess the kids were checking out. There were a lot of them. I mean, a lot. Who knew there were so many books on, like, toads and stuff? Also, what was interesting was they had an entire section of Mormon studies. It was part of the religion, but they put it after the religion. And it was just nothing but almost an entire aisle and a half of Mormon books. Books about Mormon history, Mormon theology, so on and so forth. It was just real interesting to see that they had decided to set that apart as a separate section. And so I would go up and look at a shelf like this, a 300 section again, and had to figure out where the books would go. I would often carry a handful at a time so I wouldn't have to go back and forth so much between the shelves and the carts where the books were being stored after they had been checked in. And it was actually kind of handy because the librarians who were getting the books in through circulation would actually organize them on the cart in the order that they needed to be. And so the zeros would be first, the 100s, the 200s, and so I could walk up to the cart, grab all the 300s at once, and then go and put them away, which didn't really work because, as I said before, the 300 section was really big. But sometimes there were also some really heavy books, as you can see here in the bottom right corner. I got these really big, massive, heavy books, and they were hard to carry. Okay, maybe not really, but after you do this for a while, it really starts to wear on you. In fact, I quickly learned that this was not going to be easy. With all the reaching up, trying to put the books away, and bending down with the books on the bottom shelf, kneeling, sometimes sitting, and just carrying the books all over the place, I got tired very quickly. So I had to find an easy pace to go at it. Otherwise, I just wiped myself out. Nevertheless, it was hard work! Despite this, I really did have a good time. I got to really see what kind of books are at our library. Also, I do like organizing things, believe it or not. Like, my room will be a mess, but my video games and music will be specifically organized down to subgenres. I'm weird like that, I guess. To truly evaluate my experience, I have to ask this one question. Would I go and do it again? Even though it was rather hard work, I would. Though I may want to wait for a summer, so that I'll not only have the time to do the service, but also the time to read the books I find while shelving them. And I would recommend doing this kind of service to everyone, especially if you feel bored like I tend to do during the summer. You'll be helping people and finding interesting books to read along the way.